It's a good time to be looking for metals needed for energy transition, especially nickel. Daniel Tuffin, he's Managing Director and CEO of Panther Metals. Daniel, welcome to Kitco.
Thanks for having me.
Could you thumbnail what you're working on, Daniel?
So we're actually currently drilling out our Coglia nickel cobalt project. It's a 30 to 50 million ton exploration target at about 0.6 to 0.8% nickel. And we've had some pretty good early hits at the moment that I can go into a bit later. We're currently moving, as of today, to our 8-foot well gold project, keeping that same drill bit spinning. And we're going to look at extending some strike on that project as well and creating a resource out there too.
Stepping back, you're Perth-based. The target is in Western Australia, correct?
Correct. So the Coglia nickel cobalt target's 70 odd k's southeast of Laverton in the WA goldfields. It's quite a large target. It's about 5.5 kilometres by 2.5 kilometres in width and length. We have hit some of our drilling results have hit mineralized material outside of that exploration target and to the south of the exploration target. So we're feeling fairly bullish on extending that target range for a resource.
Tell me about the past exploration that you've had. You're not really starting from scratch with this project, Daniel.
That's correct, Michael. Yeah. So there's been two separate areas of drilling out at the Coglia nickel cobalt project, and we just did what. We've got a fairly technical team at Panther. We just did what we do naturally and put it together into a database and had a quick review and went, well, we've got an actual large target here. We were going to go to 8-foot well to start with, but 30 to 50 million ton exploration target couldn't be denied. So we went out to do some infill drilling and some extensional drilling, and we're still waiting on 33 holes, the assay results of 33 holes. But to date, some of the grades we've had in have been really quite astounding. Really thick sort of lateritic zones, 21 meters at 1.34% nickel, peaking at 3.77% nickel. And these things are quite shallow. They're undulating between 40 to 70 meters. And we're getting peak cobalt grades. Our most recent peak cobalt grade was a meter at 3,160 part per million. So we've got some really good grades, fairly close to Murrin, and we'll convert this into a fairly decent sized resource within the next couple of months.
Talk about the geology. Is the nickel and cobalt, they come together in the project that you have right now?
Yeah, they do. They're associated with each other in that sort of lateritic zone. We're still trying to figure out what's going on at depth, to be honest. The prior drilling had been quite shallow. In fact, one of the extensional areas we found, we drilled and had an intercept at 49 meters, and the prior air core drilling was at 40. So they missed out by 9 meters on some of those zones. And we're hitting ultramafics at depth. To be honest, we're still not sure what's going on there. We've got to finish this program, which is now well over 6,000 meters of RC drilling. And given that we have finished that, we now need to get the assays in, take a breath, get a resource out of it, and then go back for round 2 to investigate.
How long do you think? What's a plan? What's a timeline to get to that resource?
Yeah, well, as per many in the area at the moment, assays and the return on those assays is the only thing that's really holding us up. We've been batching the assays as best we can and putting expedition on them. But assuming we had those assays in today, we would look to have a mineral resource out within the next couple of weeks. So we can turn around fairly quickly, just based on when those assays are returned to us.
Your Coglia project is near Glencore's Muir nickel cobalt plant, Daniel.
Yeah, that's correct. It's about 70 kilometres to the northwest of the crow flies, accessible via a really well-maintained haul road and the highway to the west of Laverton. They're currently developing their Irwin Hills project, 15 kilometres to the southeast of Coglia, and driving right past us. So hopefully the plan there is to develop up a really large resource with comparable or better grades, and perhaps we can have a chat with them in the future.
Talk about your team.
Well, it's a highly technical team and a small one. I'm operating quite lightly with Panther. Our chairman has a doctorate in geology, orogenic gold, which is why we started looking at gold in the first place. Myself, I'm a mining engineer, and I run a consultancy out of West Perth called Aurelia Mining Consulting. And our COSEC and fellow director Renko Matic has a corporate advisory that's pretty well known in the area, and he sits on a few boards as well. So it's a great team, combined with Geomin. So our guys, Paddy and Co in the field, we're light on, we're low on the overheads, and because of our technical knowledge and our connections, we listed on December 10. We were able to start drilling on December 16. So that was my Christmas present. And we were able to turn around some assays pretty quickly. I think within the first 60 days, we had our first assay results.
And you're funded?
We are funded. As with any company, I could put much more into the ground. We've got about 3.5 million still in the tin as of today. We've got a well-planned and well-budgeted for program for the next 12 to 24 months. So that should cover us through. And we intend to just do the simple stuff. Again, we know what we're drilling, what targets we're drilling. We're drilling, filling, and banking. So basically, we're going in, we're creating good news by going in and drilling targets that we know are either pre-JORC or pre-digital, and just need some QA/QC and then some updated technical skills on it, and converting them into JORC compliant resources.
Maybe lastly, you talked about in a couple of weeks that you're going to get that resource out. Anything else over the next 12 months that should be looked for as milestones?
Absolutely. I think I alluded to it before. So we're, as of today, drilling at 8-foot well. It's a gold project 25 kilometres to the west of Laverton. Basically, possession is 9/10 of the law. So once the drill rig had finished at Coglia, we'd planned for that to go straight there. It's very hard to get labour and/or drills in Australia at the moment. So we're going in there to drill out, again, this is a sort of a pre-JORC area that's had some drilling in the past. And some of those results have included, thick zones of 16 metres at 1, but, included 5 metres at 2.6. And this stuff outcrops from surface and extends down to about 100 metres. So we're looking to try and create a 200 metre odd strike out of this round of drilling, it's about 2,500 metres, and looking to also see if we can create some indicated material as part of our resource to perhaps look at a scoping study moving into the future.
Daniel, thanks for telling us about it, Kitco.
Thanks for having me. Cheers.
He's Daniel Tuffin, Managing Director and CEO of Panther Metals. My name is Michael McRae, and you're watching Kitco Mining.